I want to kill the fat myself, be a honor. Cut off his piece of deal and feed it. Vito, a big construction tycoon.
What is going on, everybody? Wired here. I hope you guys are having a great, very satisfying Sunday, spending with family, spending with the people you love. And I stumbled across this tweet. This is probably going to be a shorter video than the ones I normally make, but I stumbled across a tweet from Michael Imperioli, who, if you don't know, played Christopher Moltisanti on The Sopranos. And if you haven't seen The Sopranos, you know. The Sopranos is one of the most tolerant leftist shows there is. It's all about love. It's not about offing people, robbing people, greaseball stuff. And it's definitely not about organized crime. And there definitely wasn't a whole season 6 plot with Off and Vito because he liked to take it in the back door. No, that definitely didn't happen. Now you're going to say to me, Wired, why are you going on and on about this? The guy's just playing a character. It's not actually Michael Imperioli, however you say his name, Michael Imperioli. That's not actually his views. That's just the character of Chris Moltisanti, who he is playing. So to that I say, oh, so I guess it's all right to be a hypocrite with your own standards if it's going to get you cash and so you can virtue signal. But then you can come out later and try to gatekeep things that you've been in as if you somehow own them.
I didn't.
So now that we've not only established Michael Imperioli as a washed-up actor who hasn't acted in anything significant since The Sopranos, which ended in 2007, and since he's all just doing this basically to just virtue signal to the left to try to be inclusive by acting like The Sopranos was a wholesome family program that was all inclusive, let's actually get into what was said. From call to activism. This is awesome. Breaking. Actor Michael Imperioli says he's decided to forbid bigots and homophobes from watching his work following Supreme Court ruling. Fascinating stuff. Quote, I've decided to forbid bigots and homophobes from watching The Sopranos, The White Lotus, Goodfellas, or any movie or TV show I've been in. Unquote, Imperioli said in the caption of a post on his Instagram page Saturday, adding, thank you, Supreme Court, for allowing me to discriminate and exclude those who I don't agree with and am opposed to USA, USA. Spoken right from the mouth of, I would say, petulant child, a brat of an actor. And I don't like to say this because I really do like Michael Imperioli in The Sopranos. I think Chris is a good character. Not nearly as good as Paulie, but I still think he's a good part of the show, obviously. But you got to admit, this guy hasn't done anything in quite a long time. At least I haven't seen him in anything. I guess he's in White Lotus, which I think that's something on Netflix. I don't know. Goodfellas, that's back in what, the early 90s. It's before The Sopranos even. So this guy's not really relevant anymore. And also, I don't know if he knows how distribution rights work, how, once it's out there, it's out there. Even if you were David Chase, which you're not, you didn't create The Sopranos, you're just an actor in it, you can't really gatekeep it to certain people. I don't even understand what this statement is supposed to be. Well, I guess I do. It's a virtue signal. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm still here. Somebody cast me in something, please. The last thing I did was a voiceover in The Many Saints in Newark. The actor, best known for his roles in the Emmy-winning HBO dramas The Sopranos and Season 2 of The White Lotus, posted a screenshot of a news report with a headline that read, Supreme Court protects web designers who won't do gay wedding websites. Which, I mean, is that not their prerogative? Was that not your prerogative to be homophobic and bigoted when you were playing a character in The Sopranos? I don't see anybody give you crap for that. Chris was very up on Pop and Vito because of his homosexuality. But I guess that's okay that you can sacrifice your principles to make cash. I guess that's fine. Because that was, times they are a-changing, right? No, it doesn't work that way, man. Sorry. If these people can stand on their principles and they can actually decline work because they don't want to represent a certain type of people, then you should be able to accept work by going against your own principles, which you've already done. But this is probably all just to get back into the mainstream news, which I'm feeding into, so you can get another acting gig, because everybody knows you're pretty much done. In the comment section, Imperioli continued to express his fury with the ruling by saying, hate and ignorance is not a legitimate point of view. Somebody tell Vito that. America's becoming dumber by the minute, he said in another comment. However, this was totally okay when you were doing this on the biggest show on HBO back in the day. It was totally fine for you to promote this hateful and bigoted stuff. But people cannot stand by their own principles and do the same thing. They can't say, listen, I don't want to make a website for this certain thing. That's wrong. But you can go on television and spew this hateful rhetoric to millions of people, and it's totally fine. It's amazing, the hypocrisy. It's no wonder you're washed up. It's nobody will hire you anymore. And there are going to be people who are going to, let's see here. You know, I wish people would remember that the Supreme Court judges an action based on its constitutionality. It is not the job of the court to determine the action's popularity or need, but if it was enacted in a manner consistent with the Constitution. Correct. Great, a TV show about offing people, robbing, and organized crime is talking about moral standards. Yeah, again, what a powerful statement from a has-been actor. Exactly. Don't worry, I've watched neither one of your shows, and I certainly will not in the future. Well, that's actually a shame. You should check out The Sopranos. It's actually very good. Michael Imperioli, while being a good actor, does not own the rights to any of those works, and therefore has no control over who watches them or where they are presented. Empty virtue signaling. He sure has the right to feel the way to feel that way, though. Yeah, I guess he has the right to feel any way he wants, but it's just, why even make this statement? Paid person who plays pretend has a feeling. Very proud of this man. I learned all my slurs from him. Exactly. 100%. You know how many times he pops off of being, one of the main tropes of The Sopranos, and I know this was a long time ago, and I like The Sopranos a lot, but you can't say there's not a bunch of racism and homophobia and bigotry in it, while all being centered on organized crime, and you're following around a group of sociopaths. And I love The Sopranos, don't get me wrong. I really do. I think it's a great show. I think it mixes drama and humor very well. My favorite character is still Paulie. And by James Gandolfini, Tony Cicero, Steve Van Zandt, Edie Falco, all phenomenal actors, actresses. Everyone on the show really does a good job. Ralph Stifaretto, I forget the guy who plays him, Steve Buscemi. I'm not going to go through the whole cast. But they all do a phenomenal job. But you can't act like these people are not psychopaths and sociopaths. But it was okay to portray that on screen because it's an acting role. But people cannot take a stance in their own personal lives to not design a website for something they don't agree with. Well, by that same token, Michael Imperioli, you obviously don't agree with the views that your character was saying on the show, yet you went ahead and did it anyway to make money. Why is it okay for you? Why is it rules for thee and not for me? This is America. Discrimination is a two-way street. No cherry picking. Best of luck to the cause and effect net result. Christopher Moltisanti, you lucky little devil, dating Adriana La Serva. I think anyone who's seen The Sopranos agrees with that. It's just an absolutely stupid take. It really is. Yeah, good. Wipe my ass with your feelings. It's just, it's just absolutely hysterical. Somebody can go out, they can do the things that they say are wrong. Oh, what was wrong back then? Wrong back then. Now I'm all for pride. Well, your character wasn't. You were okay with portraying that character. But now it's different. Now the rules have changed. Now I'm not making money off it anymore, so now I'm sensitive. Because maybe someone will cast me. These people in Hollywood, they really have no spine. I'm really ashamed of this take by Michael Imperioli. I don't care whether you want to make these websites or not make these websites. That should be a personal decision. And if your values don't align with that, I think that's, what if you're going to make someone, can you make a website? Okay, sure, what's it about? Oh, it's about W2 bad guys. Well, I don't feel like that's right. Well, you're a bigot. It's not apples and oranges, or not apples to apples, I should say, but it's kind of the same thing. Anyway, that's all I got. Shame on Michael Imperioli. He's got his bag. Now he's all woke. He's virtue signaling. But go back. Somebody can tell me how many times Chris has been racist, sexist, or homophobic in The Sopranos. You're going to run out of hands, and you're going to run out of feet. I know that. He beats Adriana at least probably about 10 times in the show. At least. Oh, and then he gave her up to be offed by, Tony. But it's okay for him. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for listening this long. Later.